All right, so we are working on the Class 1. Recently picked up a new body, sweet FJ. um, so I'm ditching the Volkswagen Thing body. I've already pulled that off. It's stashed somewhere. Um, when I saw this, I knew I had to have it. Wasn't really too worried about dimensions or anything like that. I figured I'd make it work on something, whether it be a Class 1, Class 2, or trail truck. I actually had a Toyota Land Cruiser body, RC 4-wheel drive one, just a shell that I was going to use for my new Class 1. But yeah, after seeing this is going to get the Class 1 body, or this is going to get the Class 1 treatment, and then the Land Cruiser is going to get cut up and probably used as my Class 2, because I must have sold the Freedom Brat body, because I don't know where it is. I have no memory of selling it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I got enough bodies I can make something work. So, let's take a look. As you can see, the obviously the wheelbase is a bit too long, so we got to shorten it. I think it's going to be fairly easy though. Most of this stuff is all just sitting here because to extend it to fit the body that I had on it, I was just using some Jado rod ends on both ends. They're honestly not the best. They kind of suck. I don't recommend using Jado rod ends. It's a terrible idea. Always use Revo rod ends. If you know. So yeah, I should have realistically ditched these a long time ago. But I enjoy bending things and breaking things, so that's why I continue to run them. So I guess we'll continue to tear this thing apart. I've already been pulling things apart off of this and my Class 2, basically so I could build my Mini, because WRCCA stuff is fun too. More fun almost than the scale trucks, but when you find a sweet hard body FJ, you have to build to use it, and you have to drive with it, and you have to beat on it because they're hard to come by. So why not abuse it, I guess. There's no real logic behind that thinking. So, yeah. The wheel and tire combo that's on here currently is some custom 2.2 wheels with the Class 1 landmines. I think that these are still stock foams. But I've been happy with them. Rereading the rules, I think that these can be considered open lugs, so these might have to go. But that's fine. There's some other tires out there that are just as good, if not better. So, that's barely even in there, so it's okay. But yeah, most of these trucks really need work, anyways, just because I've been busy doing other stuff. So both these screws were almost already out, anyways. Oh man, I can't even tell you last time I drove this. Anyway, yeah. So, what's everybody's thoughts on new axial? You know. Now, I do plan on getting to more quality videos here too. Or maybe this will just be a weekly thing. I've been working on other things. I honestly don't work on tiny trucks nearly as much as I used to. Which is kind of no excuse, no reason other than I just haven't had the motivation to. And you know, sometimes that happens. So, you know, sometimes you just gotta keep living, man. But yeah, is what it is. I'll try to talk a little bit about what I'm doing. Obviously, as you can see, pulled the JADO rod end off. That's these long ones here. These things break normally a lot. And to make matters worse, boop, I was using these little spacers here. Look at that. On these guys, on that thread. So, you know, you put that on there, you got a little bit of, you got quite a bit of room. You got quite a bit of leverage to break things. So, honestly, I should probably be changing this whole link out, because one of the last comps we did at the store, I actually bent this link at the thread, which is crazy. These are actually the Team Associated factory team high clearance links for the Enduro. And you can maybe kind of see that. I bent it, straightened it out a little bit. It'll work for the time being. I'm trying to shorten the wheelbase up. Hopefully this doesn't go too short. We'll see. We'll get out our handy dandy on camera. Our handy dandy Cup O rod ends. I actually have more rod ends and stashed away in another area. This is the most inefficient way to get rod ends. It's not even all JADO, or it's not even all Revo ends. It's every other kind of rod end that I just find and don't even normally use most of the time. But hey, we'll keep them, because you can never have too many rod ends, I guess. That's a thing. Oh, hey, there's a nut there. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 red ends. Oh, not about half the fucking thing just to, you know, that's just dumb. Why would you do that? One of these days I'll actually be organized. I'm pretty sure that when that happens, though, that the apocalypse is going to happen, because if you've met me at a comp, then you know I normally don't check over my trucks. I normally just show up. Whatever happens, happens. Hell, the last comp I went to, it was actually unexpected, so it was what it was. I pulled the Sporty off the shelf, said, I'm going to bring this. This is what I'm going to run if I'm able to make it to the comp. I was down in Alabama and went to Cherokee Rock Village to meet up with some people. And again, we were down there for something completely different. I didn't even know if we were going to make it to the comp. And after making the first run, I noticed that the screws holding in the steering knuckles on the bottom were completely gone on both sides, which makes sense because one of the times I was upside down, I saw basically both of them just fold in on each other, and it caused the truck to pop really weird. And it was entertaining. But yeah, wasn't anything too crazy. I'm sure that there's other things that were wrong with it. When I left, trucks were still intact. They were still together. Although the comp Fox was actually acting up. But I think that was just a battery issue. Hoping it was a battery issue. I haven't looked at it since. That was a month ago. So, you know, take your time. Doesn't matter. Now, I'm not too worried about scratching up these links because they're just lower links and they're going to get scratched up anyways. I'm not building a friggin' show truck. I'm building a crawler. So, if any of you are watching cringing that I'm using channel locks to hold my links from spinning, then I guess deal with it. Not like it's actually going to spin this. Although that's what I use for building everything. Links, shocks, doesn't matter. I don't care. Although shock shaft you really shouldn't scratch up. Those you don't want to mess up. But, yeah, I'm just glad that this is going so good for the time being. Pop out your little bowls. Look at your little bowls. Holy shit, it's gone forever. Oh, man. This is why one thing that is always handy. Wow, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. There you go. Jeez. This is why one thing that is nice and handy to have, even though I am completely unorganized and just do stupid things, is purchasing a pack of pivot balls from Deluxe, because they sell the sweet little pivot balls that everybody needs. Because every time you build a crawler, you get these Rio rod ends. This is the good stuff. And they give you pivot balls. And then something happens to the rod end. And you have no more pivot balls. Or you lose pivot balls. And you have a million rod ends. So then you buy a pack of pivot balls and dump them in your cup of rod ends. So that way they all sit at the bottom and you can never get to them unless you dump the whole thing out. That is what I recommend doing. Because you aren't living unless you're spending half your time digging for parts. You know, maybe that's why I'm always so tired of building and working on things. But it is what it is, man. Sometimes you just gotta, you know, enjoy the little things. Then after this, we get to move the upper links, which isn't going to be too bad because there's plenty of um, mounting holes up top. So that's not going to be too hard, and you can always adjust with more Revo rod ends. So then after that comes the joys of mounting this guy. I'm not 100% as to how I want to mount it. I do have a fancy comp mount up front. So there's a chance that I might do that in the front because my sliders aren't quite wide enough to be able to side mount it like that. Which isn't a big deal. It's just SUV bodies can be tough to mount in the back. Because if you use, we're not going to be able to put this all the way on? Holy jinkies, Batman. I don't know if we'll be able to put this all the way on. Because if you use regular body posts, I mean, it works, but then you can't add the scale details like a sweet SUV cargo area. And those are the things that you need, man. I don't know what I'm building this Class 1 for. I don't know what comps I'm even going to make it to this year. I have plans to make it to East Coast Championship. But honestly, I wasn't even really planning on running the scale trucks. I was just going to run the Pro Sporty and, you know, see how that goes. Hopefully, I can run with my buddies, and hopefully do good like I did a couple years ago when I went and I got 4th in pro. So that was pretty good. And then my buddy Farmer won, so that was cool to see. So hopefully I can get down there and run with him and some of the other guys. And as of right now, that's really the only major comp that I had planned on going to. And for anyone that is interested in going, definitely be sure to when you search for that event, to search for the RC event, because if you search East Coast Championship, you get some other things that are not RC related. It is a very vague name, I guess, but that is quite a bit shorter. Yeah, I don't think any of us want to go to a cheerleading competition. So, maybe if we had some better lighting in here, this could be a little bit more entertaining, a little bit better. I guess let me know in the comments if you enjoy this kind of content. I'll be honest, I don't watch much RC content. If it's somebody I know, I'll normally try to give their video a little watch, at least a like. Try to support friends and all that. Anybody that's out there trying to get after it, you know. I definitely support you doing that. But I am not one to watch RC videos, honestly. I watch everything but. A lot of what I watch is music related or movie related for the most part. And then just try to come up with different ways to approach a video, I guess. I don't know. I haven't had too many entertaining videos, but the shorts are fun to make. Sometimes I just got to be motivated to do that. They can be time consuming. So, and I by no means don't take this as complaining. Just trying to talk, just trying to make sure that there's no dead air, I guess. Honestly, I do normally listen to music when working on this stuff. It normally helps keep me calm for the most part. So doing this without any music is weird. It is for me. But I figured if I'm working on something, then why not be recording while doing it, because it's making content without really working hard. So yeah. Now I will say, in some aspect, I'm sure that in and of itself is not a good way to look at it. Doesn't matter if you're working hard or not. If you're having fun, and the people watching might be having fun. So are we having fun? I think I'm supposed to answer that. Are we having fun? We're having so much fun, bud. But I totally chimichanga'd that thing. Well, I guess I'm just going to block my hand so you can't see anything. Block things with my hand. Apparently that is a different rod end than the others. So popping a rod end out of one of these probably be quicker. There we go. So, because I'm just so unorganized and so chaotic. And this is my bench clean. Actually, this was just cleaned not that long ago. So normally it gets cleaned and then looks worse than this a couple hours later. But let's see. There we go. Now we pop that out. Maybe I'll start doing these like the old good old Bob Ross. Oh no. Now this is where you take your 2.5 and you just turn it just like that. Oh, I love turning them screws. Like, I don't even know, man. But we're going to just throw some of the screws that we already had in there. Holy poopies. We need to take this upper nut off. Bad when you're out. You know you're out of shape when you're winded just from doing this. I haven't even moved or did anything. Either that or I really got a problem. Don't even worry about trying to hold anything. Just hold it until all the screws are stripped. Nothing matters. Yeah, this baby is it's definitely handy. It's a hobby details drill. It's got just enough power to get the job done, which is good because it kind of saves me sometimes from really just destroying everything. We're gonna have to move these freaking shock towers forward probably. Or at least we should. And then we're gonna, oh man, how did we need one more rotation out of this. Oh no. This is, that rod end is not like that. Those threads might be just a touch too long for these ends. I think that the regular associated ends are normally a little bit longer, but honestly, the pivot balls aren't tight in there, so if there's no bind, then it's good, I guess. Put this screw in here. It goes in with just about 2 threads to go in there. Now we're good. All right, we got our lowers. That was terrible. Now, let's do some test fitting. Thankfully, with the shocks on there, it stays in place. Now, the Class 1 actually used to have the SSD diamond axle housing up front. I had a ton of steering, and then a regular 10.2 axle in the rear, overdrive, underdrive, all the goods. And then I pulled those axles off and put them on my Mini because I knew I was able to get more steering out of them than, yeah. So, I knew that I wanted that. I knew the Class 1 wasn't getting ran too much. Honestly, that's a terrible angle. Let's try to get all the light. There you go. Okay, that's a terrible angle, so it looks like it's a bit more extended than it really is. But I don't hate it. It's not terrible. I do think that we need to be a touch. It could maybe be a touch shorter, but honestly, I think that that's good enough for who it's for, which is Sorrca. So, and if they don't like it, then they can suck it. I mean, realistically, the way that they have the rules written now, this was the questionable part, was I didn't know if this would be considered a comp cut because the fender flare is cut off. However, nothing in the rules says anything about comp cut. And technically this does drop down here, so there is a little bit of just fender. So it's, I mean, you can open up the fenders now, I guess. And you don't need half tire coverage, so that's weird still. I'm still used to these old rules. But if I can build something that is maybe a little bit more competitive-ish, then I will sure show off how much I suck. So, if nothing else, I think that looks good right about there. Let's see. There you go. It could be a touch shorter, but without buying new links, or without getting new links, which I'm not digging through all my links for that, I'm calling it good. So, I guess I've rambled on long enough. We did a link swap, at least the lower links, lower rod ends, not even link swap. So I'm not going to end the video because technically we did not put the upper links back. So we should put the upper links back up. Now all the electronics need to go. Oh, I need to get rid of this. This is gold hardware. I don't remember what brand it is, but it is garbage. I don't recommend it. If you want hardware, go with K&K. Or whatever your favorite hobby hardware is. You know, obviously, I'm not here to plug, even though I have. It's not what this is about. Honestly, I think that these are the two remaining gold screws that I have left that aren't stripped. I got a whole screw kit all in gold, and every one of them stripped as soon as they got even remotely tight. The heads just stripped and were just garbage. It didn't matter what screwdriver I used. So before you say it was because I used cheap shit, it was not completely that reason. Part of it was just bad hardware. But now I gotta dig through my hardware to get my hardware so I can get hardware. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. One screw. Two screws. It doesn't matter that they're not the same length. Oh wait, that one matches. Oh man. That's another thing that you might not know about me is I don't always have matching hardware. If it fits, it ships. That's my motto. Ironically, I lose just as much stuff as the post office does. So I guess it's good to have the same motto as the post office. If it ships, it fits. Wait. I think we need to be down a lug. Nothing worse than getting copyright claimed bad singing. That'd be funny. Alright, this screw might be too long, but apparently my body chose to go with the hand driver instead of the powered driver, but you know, it's okay. You can't always be smart. Sometimes you gotta let others be the smart ones. Wait, still, why am I doing this? What a dumbass. Now, I have been debating on getting the new Guillemot, but I gotta be honest, man. yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling it, which is weird for me because I'm normally pretty optimistic when it comes to stuff like that. I normally give things the benefit of the doubt. I like to experience the vehicle braking myself to know that I don't like it or I do like it or whatever, because tiny trucks are fun and tiny trucks are life. So sometimes you just got to try them and not listen to what the YouTubers say. And this one I have mixed feelings about. And it's funny because most of the things that I've mixed that I find interesting about it are things that are easily fixable. For the most part, at least as far as one of the biggest things is the screws on the Guillemot in the front where the shocks go in. They go in from the chassis and they stick out, which is bizarre on a $600 car. And honestly, looking at it, it looks like you should be able to flip the screws around. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect anything, but it's still just kind of weird to me. Most of the other things are just kind of, yeah, it doesn't matter. The cutting brake, I am intrigued by. That is something quite a bit of an axial myth in a way. Just been hearing it since the days of the XR10. So to finally see that available is it's kind of cool to see it actually put into play. It's something different, and honestly, the size doesn't even bother me. It's fairly proportionate, I think, to if you were to take a Capra. I mean, people put 2.2s on it and kind of, they almost look a little too big for the chassis, which, I mean, if you're talking like We Rock style buggies, some of them do have tires that are a little bit bigger than what the chassis is, but, or look-wise. I'm no mathematician, so I'm not sitting here doing the math on how it scales up or scales down. I'm not too worried about that. Just as long as it looks cool, that's all that matters. Yeah, it is a wide truck, but I don't know. There's some other things. I wouldn't mind getting the H10 optic after seeing the Knights Customs bug body that they have for it. It's hard to say no to that thing. I'm not even really a big fan of 3D printed stuff, but even that is like, I can get down with a bug. If I could, I'd sell all these little turds and buy myself a little class 11 and go beat my kidneys up out in the desert. You know, out in this Michigan desert. Actually not far from here. Or pretty far from here, I guess, depending on how you really want to look at it. I mean, they race class 11s out at Crandon. It's a friggin' blast to watch those guys run. So, yeah, I think we are right on our way. Look at that little baby FJ. So, I think I've ran out of things to say. I think I've ran out of things to do that aren't going to require more work mounting the body. So until next time, same dude channel, same dude time. Don't rip off Batman. It's been fun. I'm not threatening you. I'm just pointing. Until next time, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. Let me know. Did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy the banter? Did you even pay attention? Are you excited to see this run? Let me know in the comments. It'll be exciting. It'll be entertaining. It'll definitely be something. So, Toyota on, my people.